Hello, my name is Emily. I'm 18 years old, live in Vienna, that's the capital city of Austria, and I'm just about to finish my last year of school, actually just doing my finals. Yeah, but I must admit, getting to this point really was difficult. Um, and I bet most of you with, um, especially with chronic invisible illnesses, know what it's like to struggle on a daily basis and just just getting on with life is a challenge sometimes. um, I have severe uncontrollable asthma, also known as real asthma, and sometimes getting out of bed is a big deal, especially when I had a rough night, had asthma attacks like more or less every hour, couldn't catch my breath at all, and just didn't get the rest my body needed, or body needs to function the next day. But I'm still expected to get up and just act as a normal teenager, go to school, and get on with my duties. But sometimes my days consist of staying in bed with my oxygen and nebulizers and pills, like water bottles for my aching back and ribs, and still everyone thinks that I'm fine. Um, I can be admitted to hospital for weeks, come out, and everyone thinks I'm perfectly fine and well, and I can do everything they do. And then I have to say, wait, no, I just can't, because that's not how things work in my life. And it was so difficult to get teachers to understand that I can be fine 1 minute and be really bad the next minute. So they just they didn't understand, and I still don't understand. I think I've spent more time in hospital this year than in school, and I know that's not good, but I didn't choose to get ill and stuff, so I don't know why they make this big deal out of it and just don't even try to understand for a minute. It's frustrating sometimes, and I had doctors calling my school telling them, well, she's not gonna come today, she's not gonna come tomorrow, she's not gonna come next week, and probably not the week after. So you've better help her get through this, why it's gonna take 10 times longer, because get it. Sorry. Getting all stressed. I'm stressed up because of school doesn't help. I can speak from experience, because when I in my hospital bed, um, seeing how my schoolwork's piling up, but I'm not capable of doing anything because I'm just so fatigued, and I just need the rest, because that's why I'm in hospital, I guess. And then I'm like, okay, this is interesting. I've got tons to do, and I'm not getting anywhere, and my teacher's gonna be really mad and gonna get pretty bad grades, and I know I just don't want it to be like that. So somehow I always manage to do it, and I'm not saying it's a good decision, because when you're ill, you need to rest, and I don't. Well, I do, but not like I should do. And I'm a type of person, I don't say how I'm feeling really. I just try to get on with it, and basically I have to like faint, or well, more or less faint until I realize that things are not good. Um, like getting bullets and so because of the lack of oxygen in me. Just tell me that something's going wrong and that I've got to slow down, but that's not the point where I decide to slow down. I'm gonna sneeze. Well, I'm not sure you understand what I mean, but I don't know where like the limit is. I like going over it, and it makes me like sicker than I should be probably. But that's the outcome of being in a community where everyone thinks that you're not ill if you don't look ill. Yeah, that's what basically what happens in my case anyway. And I must admit, I don't look ill. I really don't. Well, there are times where I look tired and I have a greyish tint to my face and my skin because, well, breathing gets difficult sometimes. And if I don't have my oxygen, then well, I have like concentrator at home, and I'm not like near enough to it. So say in school, then things get interesting. But even then, you just oh go home and go and rest a bit. You're gonna be fine tomorrow. Yeah, sure, I'm gonna be fine tomorrow. It's not like that. It's a chronic illness and it just doesn't go away. Like that, yeah. For getting people to understand is it's difficult. And getting doctors to understand, oh, can be difficult too sometimes. Especially at the beginning, like asthma isn't that common here. It's not like every child has asthma, or I don't know anyone apart from me who has asthma. Well, okay, I'm lying now. I do, but no one in my like age group. So yeah, it's pretty uncommon, I guess. So you don't see asthma that often, and you certainly don't see like difficult, hard to control brittle asthma here. And it was hard to find a doctor who really knew what I was talking about, knew that I wasn't making things up, knew that my condition isn't because I have a problem with my mental. It's not a mental problem. It isn't. Well, it can be. And I am sure that stress doesn't help me to feel better, but it isn't. I get stressed and kind of depressed from being ill, so it's like that way around. I get ill and then I get like crazy, but it's not the other way around. And getting doctors realize that sometimes things just don't work how it's like said in the books is is difficult sometimes, a lot of the times, and yeah. But I have found a great doctor right now. He takes fantastic care of me, and um, yeah, I guess that's good. But I've been like really sad and quite a lot because of doctors saying like stuff to me I just didn't want to hear. Because there comes a point where you start thinking or wondering if like the doctor's right and you are making this up, or not making up, but like your mind is telling you that you are ill even though you're not, and that not being able to breathe is more a psychological problem and not so much a actual like problem is solved with inhalers and medication, and I did start to wonder if they were right, and well, then I decided no, they're not, because when I'm sleeping and I have asthma attacks that wake me up, then I definitely didn't. Yeah, well, that's just that's some psychological. Well, I don't think so. Anyway, and oh yeah, um, I also have something. Well, it's called Strauss syndrome. It's triggered. On my case, it was triggered by asthma medication called Xolair, and that's a side effect of it. That again, it doesn't happen really, but in my case, it did. So yay! um, and it basically meant that my lungs filled with infiltrates, if that makes sense. My blood vessels got inflamed. I had really high eosinophils, and breathing was really difficult. And so that I'm in hospital for a long time, had a plasmapheresis, and I missed about 2 months of school. That's not good in like your final class. So, but I eventually did get my teachers to understand that hey, I'm not making this up. I am ill. I'm not in hospital because it's fun. I'm there because I need to be there. So just tell me what I've got to do. If it means I've got to repeat like my last year, then okay. But unfortunately, I didn't have to because I've always been like a really good student before. So that wasn't. That made things a little bit easier. Well, I'm not really sure what to talk about because I can start talking about medications and what I take and what doesn't work, and but I'm not sure that's what people want to hear. Really, I think. Well, I don't even think they should hear. Well, maybe they should, I guess, because then they would understand what it's like to live in a body that kind of doesn't do what it should do. So yeah, I'll talk about medications. Okay then. um, no, well, I do take quite a few pills and inhalers and nebulizers and sleep with oxygen and stuff. But it's something I've got used to, and I'm fine with like this part really. It just would be great if this stuff really worked. I just feel like I'm taking medication and it's not doing anything. Or not like it should. And that's just frustrating. Mm, yeah. And making people realize that sometimes if medication does make things better, is really difficult because they're used to having a cold, going to the doctors, getting antibiotics, and feeling fine after 2 days. It's just not how things work when you have an illness that just isn't. Well, there are illnesses that are uncontrollable, as you all know, and I don't know. Sometimes I feel like being ill all the time is really unfair. Because I'd love to go out with my friends, just dance and have fun. But right now, it's not really possible. I do have good days where I just like any other teenager and just live my life to the fullest. But then there are days where I need extra care and people looking after me. And it's hard to just say no when people ask you if you don't want to come out. It's hard to see your friends having a good time without you, and it's incredibly hard to see your family suffering because you are. That's what's like bothering me the most. Seeing my parents completely devastated because of my condition, and they don't try to show that they're scared, that they want to do something. Well, they just try to stay strong and brave, but I know they're not. I see them, I see the faces, hear them talking when they think I'm sleeping. So, and it makes me want to go up to them and say, "Well, I'm alright," and I do. I say I'm alright, and even though I'm not, and I think that's a big mistake sometimes, that I don't really say the truth. How well I do, but I've just noticed that things are easier if you say you're fine. And people come up to me and say, "Oh, how you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, breathing has been easy." um, like I've just realized that it's easy to say, "Yeah, I'm fine, just struggling a little bit." Even that can be too much sometimes. So just say, "Yeah, I'm fine." So what have you been up to the last couple of days? So that's kind of my conversation, or how I try to, like, yeah, stop people asking and talking about my health. That sounds really strange, as I want them to understand really, but I have tried an awful lot to get people to understand, and I feel like I have to be in the right mood and just kind of be prepared even to make them like aware of my condition. I sometimes it just gets too much for me, and I don't want to be reminded all the time. So, yeah. But I really hope that one day I'll be able to breathe like most of people, because I know many people have lung issues, a lot worse than mine, and they cope with it like champs. And so I try to stay positive and stuff, and not like let it get into my way. Oh, that's just a lie. That's completely rubbish. Of course it gets into like it into my way and doesn't let me do the things that I want to do. But you've got to make the best of the situation, I guess. So that's why I'm sitting here and under my table, and I haven't got my head in the sand. So, but yeah, being ill is difficult. Raising awareness is difficult as well. Making people realize is, I feel, almost impossible. Yeah. Okay. Okay then. Bye.